So let's find out what Asterisk is and what it can do for you. Asterisk is a free communications framework, meaning it is the glue for all of your communication methods. For example, voice phone calls integrating with video conferencing, or mixing instant messaging and cell phone texting. Asterisk is a platform that will give users the ability to create applications to solve communication problems. Asterisk at its most basic layer is a private branch exchange, or PBX. A PBX is a phone system which allows for extensions, voice calling, voicemail, group paging, conference bridges, automated attendance, and a host of other telephony applications. Asterisk can be a simple PBX to a very complex telephony application. Over the years, unified communications has become quite the industry buzzword, so Asterisk has evolved to embrace this new trend. Unified communications is meant to merge communication technologies into a single system, which in this case is Asterisk. Asterisk started back in 1999 when Mark Spencer released the first code using the general public license. His interest in telephony steered him towards using computers and networks to provide telephony applications. This was the start of something bigger, since at the time proprietary phone systems were very expensive and ruled by the likes of Avaya and Nortel. With his technology, users were able to replace their $100,000 Avaya phone system with Asterisk's free software running on a free Linux operating system, only incurring costs for the hardware like servers and IP phones. Asterisk is now being maintained by the Asterisk community and Digium, the company started by Mark. Asterisk was developed using Linux, but has since been ported to many other operating systems. I would strongly recommend using a Linux server since they are very stable and still are the preferred method for deploying Asterisk. Since its inception, Asterisk has had a warm welcoming across the world, and the community continues to expand its capabilities to include other countries' telephony requirements. Asterisk has lowered the price barrier of getting an enterprise-level phone system. Asterisk is efficient enough to run on small embedded devices like ALIX boards, which I included a link to in the lecture resources. These work great for small businesses and run on solid-state hardware. Also, it can coexist with routers on an open WRT device. SIP, or Session Initiated Protocol, is the preferred method of communications. SIP is very robust, and there are many SIP carriers to provide PSTN, or Public Switch Telephone Network connectivity. I will be using the acronym PSTN pretty often, and this just means public dial tone, where I could place a phone call to a cell phone or any other real phone number. Now that we have extensively covered what Asterisk is, let's figure out what it can do for you. Some of the common features of Asterisk systems include voice calling, allowing users to make internal extension-to-extension phone calls, domestic phone calls, or even international phone calls. These can be sent over a phone line, a T1 or E1, or even using a SIP carrier. Voicemail is included by default and allows you to set up voicemail to email and can be used as a voicemail server. Conference call bridges are easy to set up using Asterisk. They are flexible and have many options, such as playing enter and exit tones or locking it with a PIN code. Call recording can be set up on Asterisk to record the whole phone call or do on-demand call recording. Automated attendant menus are great to allow callers self-service and to get them to the right department. For example, press 1 for sales, press 2 for marketing, or press 9 for customer service. Automatic call distribution is typically used in contact or call center environments to distribute the phone calls to agents evenly. Speech recognition can be accomplished using Asterisk and third-party tools. Click to call from a web page allows users to enter a phone number, and Asterisk will call that number. Video conferencing is built into Asterisk and just requires configuration of the system. Auto or predictive dialers are common in call centers, so with the Asterisk you can have a system act as a dialer to eliminate the expensive dialer hardware from Noble or other dialer providers. You can host your own dialing interface and customize it specifically for your call center. There are many versions of Asterisk, so we should talk about what they are. The original version of Asterisk was 1.0, followed by 1.2, 1.4, 1.6, and 1.8, which is still being supported. All versions prior to 1.8 are no longer supported and should not be used. The current methodology for version numbers is 10, 11, 12, and the latest being Asterisk 13. The difference between all of these versions is little, but it can depend on what your use for Asterisk is. For the purposes of the upcoming lab, we are going to use certified Asterisk 11 due to its long-term support and stability. I strongly recommend using a certified version so you're not compiling the latest version every other month. Most of the time, Asterisk config files are going to be backwards compatible. It is rare that changes to the software will remove features. Typically is more about adding features and improving functionality. Before we get to the lab, I do want to point out the prerequisite packages that are required to compile Asterisk from source on a Linux system. Don't worry if you don't understand this. We're going to walk through this step by step in the lab. Once these packages are installed, compiling Asterisk from source will be as easy as a few commands. So let's get this wrapped up and jump into the lab so you can get your hands on an Asterisk system. This is the end of the lecture, so you are now ready to tackle our first lab. Proceed to the next lecture, and it will be a follow-along step-by-step lab.